How was your first open mic?
Ah, man, I don't even. I mean, they were hard. I mean, like so bad. I mean, you need to practice in front of people to see your improvement and just to see the connection, to read audiences. I opened for Fluffy, you know.
I know. I seen
and
that.
That was
bro.
like.
How was that? When did comedy become part of your life?
I never thought of doing anything comedy related until I did like make people laugh, and that's when I slowly started taking improv classes, and it all went from there.
This is the True Hustle Podcast with your host, JR.
This is the True Hustle Podcast with your host, JR.
Francisco Ramos, my brother. I'm so glad to have you, bro.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. We finally did it. We finally
did it. You were like, oh, I'm busy. I'm like, but I'm glad you made it, bro.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And I feel like we had another, it's like two parts of the podcast. I have one over there and one right here.
That's the personal
you know?
but yeah.
But we talked about something very important. And it left me thinking, like, I think when we have expectations, it kind of like backfires on us, right?
100%. I think that's expectations is the worst thing that you can do as a human being, because you're never gonna fulfill the expectations in your mind, because they're in a fantasy. They're like in a movie, you know. Like even if you get the thing that you want in your mind, it was like a little better, and then you still feel disappointed. And it's like, so that's why. And like you were saying, it's like social media, for example. The minute that we go, oh, I'm gonna post this clip or this idea, and I think it's very funny, people are gonna love it, it's gonna go viral. You start putting the fantasy in your mind.
It's a whole scenario that you already have.
You put it doesn't do anything, and you're like, now you feel bad because you put that thing. And the ones that you really don't care about, like, oh, this is dumb, I'm just gonna put it. You don't think about it. You don't give any expectations. Boom, it does well, and then you're like, oh, you know.
But you know what I think that does, and I think it correlates with. I think that social media and that dopamine spike that it gives you also contributes to a lot of depression.
100%. I mean, I mean, this is one thing I've been trying to do now, even to, like, now I'm getting into a routine to go to sleep, for example, of like, where I'm like, 30 minutes before I'm going to go to sleep, I start now like, all right, I'm not going to look. I turn the TV off. I don't look at the phone. And I start like, just like, if I need to do something, I'm going to read. I'm going to write. But just because that dopamine, man, it is that whole, it's a drug, literally. It's a drug. Yes. And then you start feeling, and the whole, oh, you put something, it's like, they didn't like, now I got to put something else. Oh, how come? And then you start thinking, how come this doesn't go? And then you go in, or then you start looking at other people. And you start comparing yourself, like, why am I not getting this? It's a whole, like, I read an article of like the people that created, you know, one of the people that when the whole Facebook started and the whole Instagram, the like button, all that stuff, those people that worked on it, they're not on social media, and they tell their kids not to be on social media because they know how harmful it is. That whole thing of like being like always in it and always you're not living your life, you're not being, imagine you're just on it all the time.
And it's a valid point, because if this is happening to us that we're adults, imagine the impact that it has on children.
Oh, I mean, because remember when we were growing up, like we had to be cool for our class. That's it. At least 20 people or 40 or 50 people. That's it.
And just for an hour.
And that was tough.
You know?
I mean, that was hard. Now, this is for like, you got to be cool now for like millions of people. Like, you know, like when you're like a teenager.
That's
like
a good analogy.
That's you know how fucking hard that is, man? No. So it was still hard to do for like 50 people, you know? Like,
but you know what I think? I'm assuming that you're in your 40s, like me.
Yes.
I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, put them out there like that.
90s boys.
But, that's right. I think.
Well, I mean, growing up, I
grew up in the 90s, early 2000s.
Exactly, that's me, yeah.
I think we had the best last era.
I do think so, because it was a time where like you still didn't, you know, it was more about in the moment, or like, you know, the phones were not around. I mean, you only use you couldn't even use the phone because you can only use it like after 9 p.m. or like, remember that? Or like weekends, you can send texts. It's like, fuck it. Like, hey, ring me
after 9.
Yeah, I'll ring, but don't answer so I can go pick you up downstairs, you know. But there was that freedom of like, was also of like, you could just do whatever without thinking about being recorded, you know what I mean? Or like, now it's like, I mean, you see, it's like, we're in this business of that we have to, like, my dream would be to get to a point where, like, I don't, like, obviously I have to use social media because of what I do, but when I don't do it, somebody does it for me. I don't touch it. That bit thin. And even if I wasn't in this industry, I wouldn't be in social media. Like that, to me, that's the best, because it's like but now you have to always post something or like, look what I'm doing, all this stuff, which is, is exhausting.
That was the hardest thing for me, because I incorporated social media as a business plan.
Yeah.
I was anti-social media. Fucking believe it or not. So I think it was the most difficult for me to be like, dude, I gotta post. Now we gotta do this. But once you're in that hamster wheel, fuck.
But I think it is the key to, like you said, is to use it as a business tool, not as a personal tool. In terms of like, just know whatever you post is a business. It's not personal. It's hard because we're human beings, man, and we, especially as an artist or whatever, especially something that's you're the product.
Yeah,
you take it obviously personal, but man, we gotta think like, no, it's not.
And then, especially being a comedian, now you could advertise your own shows. You could 100%. do so. It's a tool that is necessary at this point.
No, you
can't just be like, I'm gonna sell out a show, but
not gonna post anything.
No. It's part of your business plan, essentially.
It's 100%. It's like people, like, I don't know, back in the 90s or whatever, when computers, I'm like, I'm not gonna use a computer. Like, you have to. Like, it's part of the world now. Like, it's not even as a comic. I mean, you can have a dentist office, and you need to have social media. You need to have, any business needs to have some social media presence. No matter, I mean, this is what we do now. If I look at something, I'm gonna go to a restaurant. I'm gonna look at their Instagram page and see what they offer, what they do. So it's like, it's a part of the business, but it's like it's the key, and I think the mental of it is to use it as and I think that's because younger people. I mean, I have a buddy of mine who helped me in the beginning with social media. And he told me, like, it's like, I don't take it personal. I just post it, And I think because we're older,
old school,
we take it. We're old school, so we take it more personal because, because we think it's a reflection of us or whatever it is. And he's taking that mindset of like, and even to this day, I'm still going like, did I post? But it's just every day to kind of like letting it go more and just become a thing.
I think it takes time. Well,
yes.
Like, speaking for myself, because I was like that at the beginning. I was like, ¿qué? De la verga. I used to be like,
or the comments, when the people tell you.
But I think you need to develop healthy habits, and that's what I'm doing now. You know how hard it is to be like, okay,
exactly,
put it down. I'm gonna go hang out with my kids, and I'm not gonna reach over and then see.
And to what? Because like I noticed now I'm doing the same thing. I'm trying to get more healthy habits of not using the phone. But sometimes I look at it. And I'm like, what am I doing? I look at it, and then I'm like, I turn it off, and then I go and I open the same thing again to look at the same thing I'm like, what are you gonna change in a minute? Like nothing. It's like, it's like, it's nuts but it's a habit that you become.
When I realized that this is kind of a problem is when I tell my daughter, like, baby, get off your phone. You need to get off your phone.
Yeah.
Tell me how ironic that is.
It's like back in the day when it's like, don't smoke, and you're the smoking. It's like, then why?
That's when it's like, all right, if I'm gonna tell my my daughter, hey, you need to get off that phone. We need to get off that phone.
100%.
Yeah, ahí quedó, but
and also we have to realize the same thing of like, nothing is gonna like because it's like, oh, if I miss this opportunity or whatever, it's like, if something's meant for you or whatever, it's there. Just because you didn't check your phone the whole day, that offer or whatever it is not gonna, it's still gonna be there. True. People are gonna reach out some other way, whatever. Like when things, even like I remember like, oh, I'm gonna go on vacation or whatever. It'll happen if I if something really matters, you change. There's always ways to change it to like whatever. But like, it's this whole thing of like, you need to be. I think this whole being in the right place at the right time is true, but also doesn't mean you have to be also like so. But it works when you're not looking for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's when you're doing your own thing, and then that you were at the right place, I'm doing your own thing. But if you're like looking for that right place, the right time, and you're pressuring something,
Yeah.
and that's one thing I learned too. For me, is to like let. It's like everything in life. When you want something, you don't like everything comes. Like when you don't want, like now that I'm like single now, like I don't want any.
Congratulations, single guy.
but like I don't want. I mean, I'm not looking at all. I want to work on myself, literally. I don't want to be in a relationship, right now, And it's funny because you start seeing like how like, some girls, whatever, they're like, you start like, you're feeling it, and I'm like, eh. And then the other stuff that I want, which is like other stuff, work or whatever it is, that's the stuff that I want, and that's the stuff that's like more. And is that you just gotta like let it go, like you just work on your own shit, and then the other stuff will come when it needs to come.
You know what the key part you just said right now is? I think since you're single now, you said the magic word. I gotta work on myself.
That's the best.
I think in the Latino community and the Mexican community, codependency, it's at a fucking.
It's huge.
It's
and we don't even notice it. That's the thing. That's what I noticed now by discovering all this stuff. How dependent we are, like codependent on just even stuff that we were like, oh man, I can't believe I didn't know I was even doing this because of that. Once you start figuring out like this whole codependent issues and all these things that come from childhood, like why do I seek this approval? It's because I didn't get this through. Now I talk to my parents or my mom because my dad passed away. But
I'm sorry, brother.
It's been but like I tell her like, hey, because of what you did. This is why, and I'm not blaming her. I'm just sharing it. But it's to understand like I took it the wrong way, even because parents. Parents are gonna make mistakes, but sometimes they're not doing it. Like I remember this example. My dad. I remember one time I was like, I was singing, and I think in the shower I was singing, and like I think my dad came in and grabbed something in the bathroom, and I think he said like, that's horrible, or like something like that. But he said it jokingly. But I remember, I was like, I don't know, 8, 9 years old. That I still remember at this point because I got that as like, oh, I'm not a good singer, I shouldn't be singing. But that also leads to like that means I'm not good at other stuff, and that trickles in. And again, if I would tell my dad now, he probably doesn't even remember. It's like I would tell you like, dude, that was hard. But like, it's how those things, little things happen in life that makes you like,
I think all those little things start surfacing as we get older.
Yeah.
And then they start making sense.
And that's the thing. When you start, exactly. Because that's the main thing. When you start understanding, like, because to me, that's everything in life. Because a lot of things that you do, like, why do I keep doing the same thing? Or why do I keep going out with the same people? Or why does this keep happening to me? Once you understand the source of it, then it's much easier than to stop it. To stop the habit or to stop the doing thing. It's like, to me, it's like having like a drinking problem or having a drug problem. What's the first thing that they tell you? I never had those problems, thankfully, but like, you have to accept it.
Yeah, but denial is the first.
But denial is the worst. Once you accept it, then you got to start. Okay, then that means I cannot now go out to the bars because if I want to drink, so then you start making the changes, and that's with everything, all the little things that we have.
I agree, and now that you brought up you being single now, what has being single taught you, like, about yourself?
Well, I'm still learning a lot from it, but I think the main thing that taught me is that you have to be happy. To be in a good relationship, you have to be in a good relationship with yourself. That's the first thing. You have to like yourself, love yourself, literally. And that's one thing I realized. All my life, I was always trying to get approval from other people, from friends, from family. So I was never being truthful to myself. I would put myself always last. And in relationships, I was doing the same thing. And now I realize, no, man, like, to be a good relationship, and that's both people. Like another thing I realized, you can't be responsible for anybody else's happiness. It doesn't matter because
it's internal, right? Like
it's
you.
internal because you could be married, you know, you have your wife, but you're gonna, you know, do as much as you can to make her happy. But if she's not happy with herself, it doesn't matter what you do, and then it just becomes an exhausting thing because then now you're like, you know, and then you're putting yourself last, and then you're getting tired because you're trying to make this person happy. It's like it's a never-ending thing, you know. So like it's the main thing I learned. And that's why I was saying is like, I don't want to be in a relationship right now. And not because I don't want to. It's because I need to like myself. So then I could be in a good relationship. Then I'm going to be in a good partner, you know.
I heard a poll. I mean, I heard a poll that said like, be in addition to someone's happiness, to never be someone's happiness.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, and that's what I tell girls. I'm single too. I tell girls that it's like, look, I want you to add to my happiness, not be my happiness.
Exactly.
But that comes
Exactly.
from a perspective of experience, because you know you got divorced. You know you got divorced, or you're going through, right? So that comes from I've been there, right?
Right.
Kind of like, okay.
But you can see it though. You can understand.
Yeah.
By it, right? Like,
And you don't have to go through a divorce or what. It's like, I think every time is different because I think that's what life does. They put you in the situations until you like I realized, you know, through all my relationships, or I had this opportunity and I slowly was making small changes, but I wasn't making the full, or I wasn't being aware of why it was happening until this time when I was like, oh man, this is. So it's like life will make you like put you in the situations to finally learn. And sometimes it comes when you're really young. Sometimes it comes when you're 30. Sometimes you come when you're 40. Sometimes 60. Sometimes, you know, or sometimes you never know, you know, and then you're going, why am I always? So it's two things. Life puts you in that whole thing, and then you finally have to kind of like come into terms to be like, okay, I have to solve this. Like it's like everything in life when you go like you can't start blaming the world anymore or your parents or you gotta be like no.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like when I talk to my mom about and I tell her this stuff, I tell her all the time, I'm not blaming you at all. I'm just sharing with you because it's good for me. But now I know what I need to do. I'm taking responsibility of what I need to do. I can't be blaming people for like, because that's a word you never learn from that.
That's such a valid point. And I think a lot of Mexicans, Latinos, Hispanics, we blame our parents for a lot of things.
Yeah.
And that shit needs to stop.
100%.
Because I did it.
Yeah.
And then you hear their story.
They also got fucked up by their parents. I mean,
like my mom.
Mentally.
My mom told me yesterday. Just yesterday, she told me about one of her Christmases.
Yeah.
¿Qué pasó? I don't ever want to complain ever again. She's like, no, pues estábamos bien pobres. And he's like, pues tu abuelo no tenía dinero para comprarnos regalos, pero los vecinos, they had all kinds of gifts. Do you want to invest in real estate but have no idea where to start? Go ahead and send us a text or give us a call at 323-352-7946 and let's discuss what's the best option for you. Now let's get back to the episode, baby. Dice, pues yo y tus tíos estábamos en el portón nomás viendo que ellos, playing with their toys. And, my grandma started crying and she's like, métanse. And I'm just like,
wow,
eating my caldo de albóndigas. And I'm just like,
see?
Fuck, why? Why do you have to share this? And she watches every show, so she's going to watch
it. Y mientras estabas comiendo tu albóndiga, el perro te estaba viendo así.
Bro, I was just like...
The dog's like, I want that tonight. No, pero es verdad. Todo, por eso yo digo, y todo es un... It's like un cycle.
Yeah.
Hasta que lo pares y lo puedas en cierta forma cambiar para que cuando ya tengas tus hijos, tú no hagas las mismas cosas que te hicieron. Otra vez, porque al menos que un papá, porque mis papás los amo y me dieron todos. They're the best parents I've ever had that I could have ever had. But they're normal people that had traumas and issues because of their own, parents that and I knew my grandma. My grandma was like bitter all the time, yelling, like always blaming my grandpa for everything. So it's like I know that energy. That's why I cannot blame my parents because they never, all the stuff they did was never, it was always for protection. That's a very Latino thing.
Yeah.
Like, especially my dad and my mom, like even when I moved to LA from DC to do, my dad's like, hey, you sure about this? And I remember going like, no, I want to do this. Like, believe in me, And I know he wasn't that he didn't, he's more scared. He doesn't want me to suffer. It's like, if you do this, same thing with my mom. My mom's like, hey, don't be careful, do this. Or like, don't, it's all protection, but it's bad protection because it doesn't make you, stand for yourself or like what you want. You know what I mean?
It's security, it's security, and they don't want you to struggle.
100%.
Like no parent wants their children to struggle.
No.
So they come from a place of limiting beliefs, first of all.
And limited resources, too.
Limited resources and fear.
And fear, yes. And also, the Latino cultures, too, which I notice, is very, and I think it comes from centuries with the Spanish and all like that of like serviceal.
That's to a central, I want to say like our ancestors, a central trauma.
Exactly.
We all carry that, like
we
trauma that like our ancestors back in the 1900s, like we still carry that.
100%.
Are the way they are. Like black people are so like defensive.
Exactly.
Mexicans too, and white people are just.
And this is what
because they don't feel that.
exactly because like why I had a joke about how like or like how kids like white kids are always so confident and so stuff like that. They're like, man, I'll do it. I don't care. I don't like. I was like, I never grew up with that. Like confidence? Are you crazy? Like.
Do it. No, ni madres.
No. I'm like, what my parents are gonna do? Like, oh my god, like, like, and it all comes from that sense of like, keep your head down. You're supposed to be. It's also like a religious thing, like a Catholic guilt thing of like, be okay with what you have and don't ask for more. Just put your head down and work. And if you get one piece of bread, you don't ask for another piece of bread. Which is like, why can I ask for another piece of bread? Like, can I ask? Like, if I deserve it, if I work harder, like all that stuff. And I remember one of the things, speaking of trauma, because my dad was more like that, where more like he would stand up for himself more. But I would always see that as a bad thing growing up because with my mom is like, which. And now I go back, wish my dad was alive to be like, no, you were right. It's like, for example, we went to a restaurant and they would sit us next to the bathroom. My dad's like, nah. Esta vaina, no. I'm paying for a table. Sit us in a good table. I don't want to be next to the bathroom, which makes sense if you're going. But then at that point, my mom's like, Nelson, don't, cálmate, no diga, no, tranquilo, porque estás haciendo bulla, no hagas show, esto está bien, Y es como que no, like, why? The only thing that I realized from those two things, and I think the best thing is you do have to ask for something. It's just how you ask. I mean, that's like you can't just be also like, you gotta be like, excuse me, do you mind if we move this? If not, okay, then we'll leave. We'll go to another restaurant, whatever. But you need to stand up for yourself, and that's a thing that Latinos, like you said, that whole answer is we're always, no, you shouldn't be. No, it's like no.
Consciously, we're all affected by it.
Exactly.
But it has to change.
No, 100% it has to change.
Like I see it with my kids. They're like super hella confident.
Yeah.
But it has to do with parenting.
Yeah. 100%.
So it's like, I have those traumas, but they end with me.
Mm-hmm. That's good, and that's how you stop that cycle.
You have to stop it,
because then
it's going to continue and continue.
100%.
My daughter joined the jiu-jitsu competition in front of people. She's dancing in auditoriums. Like, she's 9, bro.
Yeah, and I think
confidently, bro. And I'm the one in the background, like,
watch out!
It's my parent. Like, what the fuck, like.
Now,
but
it's also, and also I think it's also changing too with the culture itself. Like when I, growing up, it's always like the especially being in Venezuela, like the American culture was the thing to always like strive for.
Okay.
And now I feel like you see more Latino culture. We're getting more proud of that culture, you know, of like, but like Bad Bunny or the los Tex-Mex in Mexico, like the music. It's like, no, I'm proud of that, and I want to show that. I want to showcase that more, and I think that's cool because it's kind of like, no, we also deserve our place in the table, kind of thing. You know what I mean? We have done like it's. Okay, it's always been this way, but now we can also show that we're good at doing movies and music and food and and all that stuff. So I like that new change of like, which is one of the good things, at least with social media, that's happening with that.
I think everybody is not I don't say ashamed. Everybody is more inclined to being proud of their roots, right?
Yes, exactly, and not be ashamed of it or be like
because unfortunately, when we were growing up, it wasn't like that.
Exactly. It was, you had to be like, you had to fit in.
Yes.
You had to assimilate it.
Like who the fuck picks a hamburger special over chilaquiles? But to fit in, you were going to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then leave the chilaquiles. Like, come on, dog.
100%.
So that's not even a, come on. You do that right now.
Yeah.
It's like we're proud of our food, of our culture. Because in reality, we're really, really talented people, and we're funny.
Exactly.
We're fucking
funny,
hilarious.
And you were saying hardworking. Like there's no more hardworking.
We have
family-oriented values. It's so much good things, and it's to showcase those things and that's another thing too. Culturally, historically, with the stereotypes have always been the bad things, and now it's like, no, let's change it. Let's change it to the good things because those going viral for whatever reason, but like now we gotta showcase the good things,
Did you grow up in Venezuela?
Yeah, I grew up there until I was 12. We moved to the U.S. To D.C., Maryland, when I was 12. My mom got a job at because it was 94. It wasn't even like at that point. Chavez was the guy that became president and all, like he wasn't even there. We moved because my mom got a job at the Pan American Health Organization, which is part of the World Health Organization, like a diplomat job. And we were going to be there for 2 years. And my parents were like, all right, let's go so they can learn English. And the whole thing was to come back afterwards and, and stay. But so we went there for just to learn English and then come back to Venezuela. We didn't need to go. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, we need to leave Venezuela. When did
comedy become part of your life?
Well, I think it's always been there. That was that's always been since I was little. I always like to make people laugh. I was always kind of like, I was like the clown, but the silent clown, where I would be like, hey, I would tell something secret to a friend, they would laugh or be like sneaky and stuff like that. I wasn't like getting on top and making me, but I remember I would get good grades, but the only bad grades I would get was like behaving like I was always I was my parent, talk too much and just being like disruptive and all that stuff. So that's always been there, and I was like making people laugh, and then the whole comedy I never thought of doing anything comedy related until I graduated, until my last semester into college, when I was about to graduate, and I didn't like what I was doing, and this was supposed to be what I was going to do finance, and I was like, I don't like this. So that started tweaking the idea of like, not that I wanted to do comedy, but like, I don't like this. This is weird. And I started working, still didn't have a passion, and it's just like, this is weird. I don't want to be doing a thing for the rest of my life that I don't like. And that's when I started going back. I'm like, okay, what do I like? What do I like? What do I like? And everything else led to comedy. It was like, I did like make people laugh. And that's when I slowly started taking improv classes, and it all went from there.
Oh, so you took improv classes?
I wanted to do improv. I wanted to do improv. I always wanted to do improv or like SNL kind of stuff, all that stuff. And when I moved to LA, was to do that. I wasn't moving to do stand up. I just started doing improv. I took the classes, I didn't find like a core. Like if I would say if I would have found like two other guys that were in the same boat that wanted to do improv and sketches and let's just work, maybe I would have. I don't think I would have done stand up, you know. But then I didn't find that, and I was like, and I started doing open mics, and I started realizing, well, it only depends on me, and I just started doing it, and I could fit in right away, like, and I started doing well right away. So I was like, okay, then, and then that's what led to it.
How was your first open mic?
Ah, man, I don't even. I mean, they were horrible. I mean, like so bad. I mean,
it was horrible.
It was horrible. Yeah, I mean, I don't even remember. I mean, it's like I always remember going up and like, and always being very stiff and very because now I go back again. Obviously you want it to be like and stuff like that and like, but I could always tell like no, there's something else. I know I can get to a point where I can just be myself, you know, and I always had that. Even though when I was doing really bad. I could tell like, no, I know I could do better, you know, because there's stuff I think in life when you go like, I don't know, I play, you know, basketball, for example. Like I like basketball, I love, you know, but like I got to a point, I'm like, yeah, it doesn't matter how much, I'm not good. Like, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter how much I, like, you know, I don't
practice every day, I'm not going to make it to the NBA.
Exactly. Not even to the NBA, fucking community college, or even to make it to the LA Fitness Sunday League. I'm not even, you know, not even that point. You know, so there's stuff that you go like, you know, I am good at this. It's something, you know, and that's why I kept pushing and trying and like, but yeah, man, it takes it and it's a never ending thing. I think stand up is something that I always say clicks. There's always clicks in like you go like all of a sudden you're doing something, you're doing a show or whatever, and all of a sudden like I did that different, or I felt a different response, and then years go by, and then another one you're like that was different, and then slowly you start becoming better as a performer, better as a writer, but you gotta keep. But I don't think it never ends. I think you always keep getting better. You always find more and get more personal, which is that. I think that's to me that's the key to get more into the real good stuff that separates you from everybody else. You know.
How long did it take you to get comfortable?
Man, like I feel like I think maybe like 7-8 years to feel like really like comfortable, like where I'm like, okay, I can. Now I know, and that's like where I was like, and then even more years, then I got better at it. But like, I think like, yeah, I think it took me to a while for me to be like, okay, now I use this as an example. Like I learned how to dance salsa merengue really well because when you're little, you know, that's in Venezuela, that's how you get girls, you know, like you gotta dance. So like I dance like. And I'm not like a good like ballroom dancing, like I do all these things, but I have good rhythm, and like every time I dance, that's the thing. That's one of the things in my life that I'm like, I have 100% confidence that I do well. It doesn't matter where I am or who I dance with. I'm like, I do it. So my thing was always being like, okay, when do I get to that point feeling with stand up where it doesn't matter where I am, what do I do, I'm still gonna feel that confidence, and I am in that point. I feel like, you know, with stand up where like it doesn't matter what I do, it doesn't matter if it's just like I did, you know, even like I opened for Fluffy, you know.
I seen that.
And that was
bro.
like,
how was that?
That was, I mean, it's amazing. But even to that point, I was like, you know, of course, I'm not gonna lie, you get nervous because you want to do good, you know. So you know, you want to do good for Fluffy, you know. Which by the way, just shout out to him. It was amazing. Amazing guy, you know. So you know, just the fact that he's
Fluffy a lot.
it's the fact that he just, you know, gives you that opportunity, and like and he treated me like I was part of the group. He was like, hey, check this out. This is what we do. This is how we meet the people afterwards or whatever. But just performing there, I remember going up on stage and I was like, before I went on, I'm like, all right, just be you. Just do what you do. And then you went up, and then it kind of like fits. That's where the repetition comes, man. That's where I feel like the whole, like, because it just, once you're in there, it's kind of like you change into this like transformer thing of like, okay, now I know what to do. But you do is that preparation before to like let it go. Yeah. To like, hey, just be yourself. You know what you're doing. And that's the thing too that I would tell myself, like, I've done this, even though it's 10,000 people, which I never performed before, it's still the same thing. You just gotta be a little bigger, a little more, project a little more, take your time a little more. That's the only thing that I was telling myself. But at the end of the day, you know how to do it. So
That's what I was wondering. Like, damn, to be in an arena, then to be in a comedy, the Laugh Factory, Comedy Store, etc., and then you go up there,
yeah.
and you're like, oh shit, I'm here. This is crazy.
It's so, I mean, like, being in it, you're going like, what are like, it was surreal. I was like, oh man, after I finished it, I was like, wow, like, good. I mean, like, but it was awesome. It was a awesome experience to done it, and like, it was definitely something new, but also at the same time, going back to what I was saying, the fact that I put all those reps and all those works, it made it, because that's where you go, like, if you haven't done it that much and you haven't performed in bad open mics or shows, perform outside in front of like 10 people or like in front of like one person, all those things, if you don't have gone through that, that's where that moment can be a little bigger for you. And
But does that moment solidify everything that all the work you've put in?
Yeah, no, I think it does. I mean, because it does show me all that work. That's what I mean. Like, all that practice and all that work, it makes like, okay, I can perform in this situation. And it was good. It was like, and I felt good with it. And I, obviously, people after the shows, they're like, oh man, I want to come see, because it was cool because I was doing Orlando, and then the next week I was doing Orlando. So a lot of people from that show came to my headlining show that I did, and like, so it was. But yeah, it just solidifies that when you put the work and the effort, and even though you're still gonna be nervous because but you can really, that nervousness goes away when you go like, no, I've done this before. Just treat it as what it is, and I feel like it's like any like a sports, like an athlete. It's like when the NBA finals. But hey, this is going back to the gym. This is playing in the, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The lights are gone. It's just me and the other team, and that's it.
And you're right. Jay Valentino's my cousin.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I've been to a lot of his shows, and I've seen the change, like the progression. So it's like it is like the gym, right?
It's 100. It's anything in life. Right, you gotta do it. You have to become good at something. And there's the 10,000 hour rule, whatever. Yeah. It's like everything. You have to. But especially with stand up, it's a thing that you do need to do it, and you need to do shows. Because to me, with stand up, it's not just practicing. It's the same with like sports. It's like you can practice so much, but you gotta play the games. But it's with stand up, you're playing the games all the time, like, because that's the only way to practice. I mean, you need to practice in front of people to see your improvement, and also to see the connection, to read audiences, to see, okay, because this is one thing now I have, like this sixth sense of like Spider-Man thing of like, when I know like, oh, they're not with me, so I gotta change something. And I know
it has to be there on the spot.
And it has to be on the spot. It has to be like, let me just change. Let me do a little crowd work here just so I can connect with them again. And then I go back to my bits because they're kind of like, I'm losing them a little bit. But that all comes from just doing it, man. Just doing it, yeah.
So I'm a big comedy lover, right? And this is a question that I have because, I know you work with, I think you were on a show or with, what's it called, Matt Rife?
Yeah.
So with him, he doesn't have a mic in his hand. He has a headset.
Yeah.
And I always think, like, does that do something to you? Like, I think that's a bold move, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But it's like, what's the difference? Oh, is there?
I don't think there's a difference. I mean, I think it's just a matter of like, what you like, what style for you. I mean, I think, I don't know why. I have no idea why he did it. I think we're used to like, oh, stand-up is got to be this way. Yes. And I think, as we've seen, there's no rules anymore. Like, I mean, what's stand-up anymore? I don't know. Anybody does, like, there's no, before you needed to be good at the clubs to get booked. Now it doesn't matter. You can just have a good social media presence, and if you sell out, the books will book. So it's like there's so many different rules. So it doesn't. So I think the whole mic stuff, I think is just a matter of it's like saying like you have to perform in a suit, or do you like performing in a suit, or you like to perform more in your comfortable, you know. And I think you do have to, one thing that I learned is never have a crutch when you're doing stand up. And by that I mean it's like, oh, I need to wear this shirt all the time to do the shows. You know, it's like, or I need to have a wireless mic or like a stand mic. Because what happens if you go do a show that they're gonna pay you and they're like, look, this is all we got, and now you gotta do stand up like that.
Oh, that's a good fucking point.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, it's like if it's like corporate and they want to pay you a lot of money, but this is all we got. Like, oh, you gotta like I did a corporate on Wednesday, and like it was in a restaurant. And I get there, and I thought they were gonna have little lights or there nothing, no station or nothing, just people just eating. And they're like, "Oh, here's the mic," and I go like, "All right," and I just start talking. They're not paying attention, so I just go from table to table interviewing people, just to try to get and they had a good time. But it's like at that point, that's why you can't be like, it's gotta be this, it's gotta be that. You gotta little like be in all those situations to then adjust to that. Until you get to the point where you're like, you can demand those things, but when especially for like, there's clubs that they don't have, the stool, and then like, what are you going to do? Or music. What happens if you like, you have this bit that you have this all about music? That's my closer. What happens if the thing doesn't work? What are you going to do? So
you got to be prepared.
You got to be, so that's why I'm saying like, never develop a crutch. Like have it, but if it doesn't work, or if it's not working at that moment, then you can still do your shows. Same thing with like, to me, like saying like being dirty, or like not dirty, but like saying like cussing, stuff like that, or having dirty material. It's fine. I don't care. But also make sure that don't depend so much on that. Like make the bits where you can take out the dirty part or the cuss words and they still work. So then you're not dependent on that. So then if you do have to do a clean show, you can still do it, and you're not like, should I can't do all the, now instead of doing 15 minutes, now you got only 20 minutes because all the other 30 minutes you're saying fuck, and the fuck is a bit, or is a punchline. Instead of you take out, like all my bits, I curse all the time, but I could take all the curses and then they still work, or I could change them a little bit,
You said something earlier about social media. And I'm like, man, that's a good point. So now these clubs are like, all right, we're going to give you a spot because you could sell out a show.
Yeah. It's a business. It's all, I mean, it's always been a business.
So you can rent it out and read a book. If you sell the tickets,
They don't, I mean, like they need to make money, and like, and now you don't even, and that's what I'm saying. Now there's clubs, you can do shows. You can rent your own place. You don't need to do shows in a club. If you could rent a little theater or whatever, and then you set it up, and then you can have a show there. And like, there's so many ways of doing it now. Like it's the whole. That's what social media did. Like there's no more. Like there's no like this is the only way to do it. This is the right way to do it. Like the whole people go back with crowd work and not crowd work and all that stuff. It's like, hey man, like it's like you just gotta do. I feel like just do what you want to do, I mean, and I think that's the key. It's like if you like doing crowd work, and that's what sells you tickets, fuck it. I mean, I'm not gonna judge you for that. That's great. Awesome.
Yeah. I just trip out on how social media is changing. It's changing multiple industries. Now it's changing. The comedy, the business, it makes such an impact just to have a following.
Oh man, and I mean how like we're talking about the movies and TV shows, like they're not making on like now if you do something really well on social media on your own, now that's had like people now they would give you money to produce those ideas. Now you do it yourself, and if there's an audience for it, then they come. I'm like, all right, now we'll get in business with you. So you can do it yourself, but they're not putting that money before. You know what I mean? Or like even commercials. Now it's all like the way that or like how people reach out is like, like, hey, let's do commercials that are more for TikTok or for Instagram or for like, it's just, and then you mention now, and then you add AI to the mix, and then that's another ball game.
Like, how do you think AI is gonna affect comedy?
I think the only thing I think it could affect a lot on scripts, more like on the writing side of it.
Okay.
I think so, more on like writing scripts, or like maybe like, hey, instead of having 10 writers, we're gonna have 1-2 writers, and the rest, and then AI does, that could be a thing which it limits jobs. I think in terms of performing, like, and I think that's with music too, or anything that's like more the experience. I think people still want that. I think that people it's like watching remember during COVID, like the concerts, watching a concert on TV. It's like, yeah, it's fun, but there's nothing that being in the concert.
Yeah.
Or being in a play, or being in a fight, or in a So I think in-person things are still gonna be. That's why as a performer, I think that can still, help you. That's still what people want, the real stuff. I think it's more when it's stuff that's you don't need that personal thing that's gonna affect. That's why in some ways acting, some people might want that person, but then the other persons might be AI or whatever. I don't know.
That's just crazy to see that.
And even just work. I don't even like. I'm talking about, and this is just entertainment stuff. Like, what about like normal jobs, like any corporate job, like where you don't need, instead of you have a 20 team people doing the same thing, and like, no, now we just need 2.
It's like customer service.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are those?
Your whole customer service department
gone,
going from 40 to 1.
Exactly.
to one person. How can I help you? Press 1. Oh shit.
So that's when I go like, how are the people like, that's where we go, like, are we gonna be like, people always talk about universal income, but like that you're gonna have to have something, because there's gonna be so many people out of jobs because of AI. Then, what are they gonna do? Like, how are they gonna survive? Like, if the thing that you did all your life, or that you know how to do, is gone. Even like nurses or doctors or whatever, there's gonna be robots that are gonna be doing the stuff, and like surgeons, like.
Trust a robot or a human being, that too.
Yeah, yeah, and then so it's but I think it's also knowing it's a tool. At the end of the day, it's just knowing how to master the tool, how to use the tool for your advantage, and I think that's the main thing that we need to do is learn the tools so then you know how to do them.
Right
But go for it.
So right now, ChatGPT is like early 2000s when like everybody, like you said earlier, the computer, like I'm not gonna use a computer.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of people that talk shit about just AI in general, like fuck, I need AI for it. And it's like, nah, bro, you're falling behind to that class.
Exactly.
Where the computers were like, it's una computadora.
Exactly. Well, exactly.
I just think it's about adapting.
Exactly.
You have to utilize it to.
And that's life, right? That you get stuck in the this is one also with comedy, when like, but I could say all this stuff before. It was like, well, now you can't. Or now you got to find a different way to say it. That's the job. That's the work. You got to evolve. You know.
Yeah. Like the way I see AI is like our generation and social media.
Exactly.
Like either you adapt or you get left behind.
Exactly. You got to find a way to.
You got to find a way. At the end of the day, there's certain things that AI won't replace. Entertainers, in-person entertainers, like,
personal experiences,
like
even like a chef. Like, if you hire a chef that does something, or you want to go to that restaurant, it's because you want that chef to cook. No, you don't want some machine to cook or whatever. You know what I mean? Or whatever.
I agree.
Yeah.
So growing up, who were your favorite comedians?
Wow.
If you had to do a Mount Rushmore of your favorite comedians, who would it be?
Well, I'm gonna go to like just little things throughout my life. I mean, because before, when I've, even didn't want to do or didn't even know I wanted to do stand up. There was this Venezuelan comedian. He still performs that. He was like in the SNL of Venezuela, and his name is Emilio Lovera. Amazing performer, like just so I remember watching him all the time growing up, and he hilarious. So he'd be one. Then when I started thinking about or like realizing what stand up was or learning about it, I mean, definitely Seinfeld and Chappelle were the two that were like Seinfeld just because I love the show and I love that type of comedy, and then Chappelle is just because the way that he would just take his life and make it a, you know, the act house and the characters and just talking about real life, but also, you know, but using and being a performer with it. That was something that I was like, man, it's so cool to be like going from talking to something, a premise, and then becoming the character of the situation. And then when I moved to LA to start working at the Comedy Store, Sebastian Maniscalco was the one that I was like, I kind of like, just basically I was like, oh man, I like his style. I kind of like, I thought the same way or like kind of the same ideas, and even people to this day, they go like, oh, you remind me a little bit. It's like, yeah, because I even opened for him a couple of times and stuff like that. And then I met so many other comics throughout, like Ian Edwards being amazing, Mass Giovanni, and then, you know, obviously Gabe, you know, like just and these are more people that I met that throughout as I've been working, which are more just like people that I wanna like Brad Garrett, people that also that I wanna emulate or inspire to be like, what a great career they have had as comics, but also doing other stuff, but also the way that they've developed their careers and they've done it, you know, throughout time, you know. Yeah.
And I think, well, you know, comedy opens the doors for like acting gigs too, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's one thing that I've always loved, acting, and I would love to do more of it. You know, that's one of my things I would love to, you know, and I've gotten parts here and there in shows like Hentified and This Fool and Shameless, and I did the voice of the Monkey in Rio, and then Victor and Valentino, and this just other voiceovers. And then finally did a movie of where I want to play one of the leads called The Unexpected. That's out right now on Apple TV and Amazon Prime, produced by Kevin Smith. But I think comedy does lead to acting. I think for me it took me a while to kind of like realize the difference or the big difference of like, because when you're stand up, you're doing everything. You know what I mean? Like you're doing the sound and you're doing the light, you know. With acting, you're just one part of the puzzle. So what happens with you go in and you try to do the same big stuff, and when the camera's right here, you just gotta talk, and that's it. Everything else, and it's hard as a comic to be like, oh, I'm not doing enough. They're not getting the laughs. You know, that whole like approval thing of like, so that took me a while to kind of like adjust and lower the temperature of like, yeah, you just gotta it's a different tone. That's what you can still bring that same stand-up personality, but it's in a different way. You know what I mean?
But you're right. I think comics do a whole lot, and then going from something like that to just one shot.
That's why some comics it's hard for them to transition into acting because they don't know how to like realize, or they can't. It's like, no, just talk. You don't have to be loud, you know, because especially if a close up here, you know.
Who do you think is the best actor? I mean, the best comedian that transitioned into acting pretty smoothly?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of comics that like, you know, Michael Keaton.
Most of the actors are
yeah, well, Michael Keaton, you know, Batman, you know, he did stand up.
Oh, shit,
I mean,
right.
Tom Hanks did a little bit of stand up too. Obviously, I think Eddie Murphy. I mean, that's the GOAT.
That's what I was thinking.
No, but he's like
Eddie Murphy was probably
Eddie Murphy,
he was a killer, bro.
But Eddie Murphy's like Jamie Foxx,
Mike Epps.
You know, like there's a lot of that. But to be like, and then to become like for example, Jamie Foxx is the one that you know not just did comedy but just becoming like a great actor. You know, like drama pieces and stuff like that. Obviously Jim Carrey, but yeah, like Eddie Murphy, I feel like it's it's a guy. I mean, he's just an anomaly. He's just like he did say he's like I only had to audition. The only time he auditioned in his life was for SNL, and he's never had to audition in his life ever. Like the first movie, 48 Hours, was offered to him. You know how crazy that is to like an 18-year-old guy like hey like, but he just has it.
So he didn't audition for Coming to America.
No,
bruh.
No, he auditioned again. He only auditioned for SNL. That's it. Everything else has been offered to him.
He didn't book SNL, huh? Or did he?
No, he did. He was. Yeah, he did. He was. You know, he did. Like, no, but that guy. I mean, he's just. I mean, to me, that's like being like LeBron or Michael. You're just people that are like Messi. They're just exactly. They're just another level because it just comes so easy to them. You know what I mean? And like, but yeah, man. I think there's a lot of comics that have transitioned well. You know. Into acting, you know, even current ones, you know, I feel like Ali Wong has done a great job, you know, as, you know, and in Rami Youssef.
Who is that?
You know, he had his show to Rami, and then also he was in that movie with Emma Stone recently, and like he's done like big movies and shows now, like so he's done a really great job as well. So I think it's just I think some people, I mean, I think it's just understanding your instrument. That's pretty much it.
And some people are just fucking not human, just like
exactly.
What's his name? We were just talking about him. Fuck, that's my train of thought.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, no, he's
That
just
fool just
he does whatever he does as well.
Fox, though, you brought him
Yeah.
up, like, he definitely
Man.
went from like serious roles and stuff.
No, because
Jamie
he went
Foxx
from like
went
from In Living Color. That's where he started.
Comedy
To like being like wild, like funny guy, and then became, you know, like the Ray, and then just really heavy, you know, stuff, you know.
and freaking R&B singer.
And yeah, he's also a multifaceted.
His last special, you see that?
No.
You gotta see it. You seen that?
No, I haven't seen it.
That's so fucking.
Yeah.
That
Really?
That should make you laugh, cry. Like it's.
Yeah.
All right.
This is great.
No, he's. I mean, those are guys that again, they're like very, you know, even Kevin Hart, man. Like you gotta give it Kevin Hart. He's like a really great, you know, stand-up and actor too as well. That's done it. That's transitioned really well, and you know, business person
He
too.
blew
Like,
up pretty fast, huh?
I mean, yeah, no, he did.
Or
But he
went through the trenches and then it feels like he blew up fast.
Yeah,
but
from what I heard, he did his job. You know, he did, and he was smart. From what I heard, one of the things he did, he would like when he would every time he would do a show, he collect emails, and then when we went back to that city, that's when people would go get him, see him more at that point. You know, so he was smart at that. You know, that business sense of it too, of like, you know, so yeah, I think you have to. I think it's cool to look at those people and try to kind of implement those things. You know.
Okay. I'm sure you're enjoying this dope ass episode. I mean, you made it this far, so you might as well hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Now, let's get back to the episode, baby. I mean, we are in the Christmas spirit.
All right.
So I want to know what your favorite Christmas movie is.
Oh man.
Because we grew up around the same time, bro.
All right. I do have to say, I mean, look, I'm gonna go with Home Alone and Die Hard. You know, like that. Yeah, I like.
Well, he likes to watch it
That's one of the things that people go like, is Die Hard Christmas movie? It is or not? I mean, I think it's during Christmas. So, but
all right, I got
but yeah,
one.
I like Home Alone. You know, as well. That's a typical classical.
My two favorite Christmas movies are
Yeah.
Home Alone
Okay.
and Turner and Hooch.
Turner and Hooch.
But people are gonna be like, "Why is Turner and Hooch?
Yeah.
Why?
The Tom
not a
Hanks movie?
Yeah. You want to know why?
Why?
Because the neighborhood clucker, or whatever you want to call him, the one that would steal shit
Okay.
during Christmas, sold my dad 2 movies,
Okay.
Home Alone and Turner and Hooch,
Okay.
in video cassette.
Okay.
And I watched those motherfuckers for like 4 years straight, bro.
Yeah.
So those are my 2 favorite movies.
All right,
That's
all right.
why.
Okay,
You know?
okay,
Those
okay.
are the only 2 we had.
Okay. That's all you
So
got.
that's all we
you
had. That was before cable,
right.
before any of that. So
Yeah.
That's why they're my favorite.
Nice.
So I can't question Die Hard.
Yeah,
because
no,
you have your
I mean,
reason.
there's a thing about if Die Hard is a Christmas movie. There's always like every Christmas there's always a debate.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, I do think it's a good adult Christmas movie. It's fun. It's like you know what's happening, but you still enjoy it. You know, it's like it's one of those things, and you know, and you get Carl Winslow from the Family Matters.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, Family Matters, bro.
Remember that?
You know, my routine for those shows when I was a kid was Saved by the
TGIF Fridays. Yeah, Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell, Family Matters. Oh no. It was Cristina Saralegui or
Sí.
what was it?
Saralegui, sí, Cristina Saralegui.
Cristina Saralegui.
Sí.
And then it was Family Matters.
Yeah.
And was it Family Matters first and then Saved by the Bell, or it wasn't that order?
I think that was like I was TGI Fridays, and I think Boy Meets World. It was Family Matters during Fridays, Step by Step or something like that. But I think Saturday mornings is when it was like Saved by the Bell and stuff like that.
But those were the days.
Yeah, man, that was like that. And
did you have a big ass square TV?
Yeah. Of course.
That shit.
Yeah,
I bet you kids would look at that now and be like, "What is that?"
It was huge. It was like from here to here, heavy as
Heavy
shit.
as hell, like a freaking.
Yeah, put that shit on the floor.
Yeah, it was all wood and then the screen, and then you had to fucking. Damn, we're old, bro.
Man, I know. Now you can. It's on your phone, and it's better quality.
So, talk to me about Venezuela. I want to know a little something.
All right.
Like, you know, I'm a foodie, man. I love to eat.
Okay.
So it's like, what is your most famous dish in Venezuela?
So the most famous dish is the arepa, which is
Arepa?
Arepas. Which is it's like a corn meal cake that you open is with corn flour, and let's say that's kind of like our version of the taco.
Oh,
you know, because it's a thing that you eat and you put in, and you can put meat, chicken, cheese. There's so many things that you can put inside of it, and that's like the main kind of staple, most popular thing. And then there's other ones. There's actually right now one in for Christmas season. It's called ayaca, which is like a tamale. But it's like it's wrapped in plantain leaves, and it's got a bunch of like seasoning. Okay. It's actually like a whole especially in Venezuela, like that's a whole like family thing. Like you meet for the day or the night, and you as a family you make the hallacas because it's a very hard, long process, and everybody has like a station. So one person is like putting the thing, the other one's wrapping the thing, the one's cleaning the hallaca thing. So it's a whole thing. So that's and then pan de jamon is another thing that's very popular in the Christmas season, which is like this, pan de jamon is literally the name of it. And then there's other dishes called cachapa, which is like a savory pancake.
Okay.
Which is very delicious. And then there's the dish or the staple dish of Venezuela is called pabellon, which is like shredded beef, rice, plantains, black beans, and then like an arepa, like a small arepa on the side, and that's that.
Everybody uses plantains over there. Huh?
Yeah, it's Caribbean. I mean, because Venezuela, even though it's in South America, is a very Caribbean influence country. You know, like the weather and the music is very like.
How far is Venezuela from Ecuador? Because it's still south.
No, it is south, but we're in the tip of South America. Ecuador is like more like in the middle of South America. Okay. So that's why we're like the ocean that we face is the Caribbean Caribbean.
So also the water is different.
So yeah, it's warm, it's blue, it's beautiful. I mean, the beaches in Venezuela are amazing, and then they're like, so we're like more similar to like Dominicans and Puerto Ricans and Cubans and that. Really? Like we're more like even the way that we speak and stuff like that, and the food and the music, and because they're like Cubans have ropa vieja, which is the same thing. We call it carne mechada. It's ropa vieja, is the same shredded beef, stuff like that. Yeah. So those are the main foods, and but that because of all the immigration has happened, now there's Venezuelan restaurants everywhere. There's really two good ones in Pasadena called Amara Cafe and Chamus. They sell Venezuelan food, and it's really good. Both of them are really good. Yeah.
Is it true that Venezuelan women are the prettiest women?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie about that. No. I think the thing is because I feel like Venezuela is such a mixed culture of people. Like even in, like, let's say my own family. I got cousins that are like basically black to like cousins that are like white, blue eyes, and that's in my whole family. Like, so like that rainbow of mix, ethnicities. That's why I feel like there's so many beautiful women, because like there was a lot of like immigration from like Spain and Italy and Portuguese that came in the 50s and then come out, that united with it. So then
why you guys have a
this exactly. So it's
no
like,
wonder you guys win Miss Universo all the time.
we're like the Brazil of Miss Universe in soccer times. We're always there. We're always favorites. We always make it to the final round. So that's the good thing that we have right now. Like, and I think also the woman, because of that, the Venezuelan woman also, they like to dress well, and they take care of themselves, and they're always like they're gonna go to a supermarket and they dress up.
But are Venezuelan women tóxicas?
I'm gonna take the fifth on that one. No, there's a term actually called cuaima, which is like, that's kind of like the toxica of I guess of a Venezuelan woman, because cuaima is actually a snake in the Amazon or something like that. I feel like it, and like. So when you say you're a cuaima is when somebody is very like, que no seas cuaima, or like,
esa muchacha es una cuaima.
Exacto, tu esposa es muy cuaima, o mierda, no, cuidado con esa porque está muy cuaima. Like, she's gonna like create problem, like, or sell, or say stuff to you in your face, and it's not, so I think a little bit of.
I'm gonna write that down later, so I'm gonna use that shit so nobody knows. So how is it? You're in LA.
Yeah.
It's nothing but Mexicans.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is it? How does the Mexican culture compare to the Venezuelan culture?
Well, it's funny because when I first moved to LA, like, that was, in my mind, I thought LA was gonna be like Miami, because I'd never been to LA. I think I only been once, so I was like, even with like the weather and the beach, I was like, oh, what the hell is this cold ass weather? and it gets cold here in the winter, and I was like. But then I realized, the Latino culture obviously is very heavy influenced by Mexican culture, and it took me a while to kind of like connect with a little bit, because I feel like I was, even though I grew up in DC and I grew up with, and I had like a Mexican friend, but our friends were all from all over, like from South America and Central America, so it was like a full like, so it wasn't one type of but I think it's, and then when you start talking, it's very similar, like I think once you start like dealing with, you start like having friends that are Mexican or have Mexican families and stuff like that, you go like, that's one thing I realized. We're all the same, you know what I mean? It's like
our food is a little different, but we're all the same.
Yes. Well, I think I've learned to love more spicy food because of the Mexican culture. I eat, and I love the whole. And one thing I like about Mexican culture too is like you're very, very proud of their Mexican, heritage and who they are, like of their teams, or they're very, which that's one thing that I think Venezuelans have gotten better at it. But like when I grew up, it wasn't like, it was more like I mentioned before, like more of the. I guess I felt it more like it was more like, the U.S. is better, more, but like Mexican is like, nah, man, we're Mexicans.
No era penal, cabrones. We still cry about that penalty, dog.
8 years ago.
Exacto.
Man, well, we are very proud, and our food is delicious.
Yeah, no, I mean,
must tell you that
it's like I learned to because again I didn't even grow up in the sea. I didn't eat that much. It wasn't that much Mexican food over there
because it's not a thing in South America.
No. Well,
my wife is Ecuadorian.
Okay,
and the first time that my suegra made like seco de chivo, some
ceviche.
She made like seco de chivo, some like Ecuadorian dish.
Yeah.
So then I sit down and I'm like, all right, cool. ¿Dónde está el chile?
Yeah, el caliente, claro. Now
She's like-
I ask all the time too.
She's like, no,
Yeah.
nosotros no usamos chile.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like, you want me to? Well, no. And then my wife was like, fuck that. She wanted to go buy me some tapatio. At least it's the minimum.
Well,
you know?
that's one thing I learned too. Like even the Mexican candies are like spicy, which is like I was like, how is that possible? I was like, that doesn't make sense. It's candy. It's
Dude,
supposed
we
to
have
be.
pulparindos.
Yeah.
Pulpas. Fucking lucas. We have fucking, everything
Y
has
después
chile.
echan tajín también.
And then on top
yeah.
of fucking like the little gummies, we'll put a gang of fucking tajin.
Yeah.
Like we murder shit with fucking salt and with sodium.
Exactly.
Like I was at my mom's yesterday when she told me that sad story that I told you about earlier. But I was eating my sopa, right?
Yeah.
So then once I'm done with the sopa, me corta un mango.
Okay.
But not just by itself.
No, con toda vaina y...
Boom. I just murder it with tahini. Like it's just a thing. I don't know.
And that's why I've become like, it's funny because now I go back, especially to like when I go to like, if I go to Miami or I went to Orlando and I was like hanging out with this Venezuelan, friends, and I went to food, went to eating soup, and I was like, is there any hot sauce? And then like they would look at me like, well, you need a hot sauce? Like, yeah. And I would eat the hot sauce and it wasn't even hot. I was like, no, they give me like, I need Mexican picante. And I was like,
bro,
dude, I'm so like now, like now I need to have that stuff,
I don't think I could eat any sopa. Like
Exactly. No, like
sopa de albóndigas,
cualquier sopa.
caldo de res, lo que sea, tiene que ser con limón y un chingo de tapatío.
Exacto. Yeah.
Y una coquita ahí. I don't know what is it with Mexicans and Coke.
No, we love. Yeah, I love Coke too, man.
Man, it's just
I love Coca-Cola.
Yeah, Coca-Cola, guys.
Then you
Coca-Cola.
want to put this in the thing. It's like, I love Coke. I mean, like, yeah, man, I love Coke, man. Yeah, I love Coke.
I feel like that is the way Mexicans are with the Coca-Cola. It has to be a part of a meal. Like, why?
Yeah.
But it tastes so fucking good. bro.
Yeah. It's a good pair.
Black.
Yes. You know that Coca-Cola had gone clear? Coke went clear like Sprite
Oh, really?
and sales went down. Check that shit out.
That's
They
funny.
did. I remember watching.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And
'Cause they thought it was gonna be more
people
appealing, but
people thought it was going to be more appealing, right?
Yeah.
And sales went down, so they went back to
the
it being
color.
dark.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either until somebody
But that
brought it
makes
up.
sense because it's once you train the human to do one thing, it's hard to like. And also, I feel like
Yeah.
it's like even like this, like this looks. Hey, I'm like, even though no, it's water, but like, you know what? I want my water because it's what you get used to. Water's supposed to be clear. Coca-Cola's supposed to be dark. Sprite's supposed to be this. It's like we're.
But it shows you how powerful the human mind is.
Right. It's weird. Right?
It's so powerful that sometimes it plays tricks on us.
all the time.
And even with the simplest things.
in the
Exactly.
90s.
It was, huh?
Yeah, from 92 to 94, they went clear. Then they stopped it because the sales went down.
Wow, that's so funny.
Because they associated with lime soda, so they were like,
Nobody wants to drink
Got it.
a.
And then that's why I'm not gonna buy it because it just tastes like that.
I mean, sorry, but Coca-Cola has to be dark, bro.
the taste to like what we're looking at, and it tasted it was not matching.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it just shows how crazy the human mind
Well,
is.
it's like, or it's like hot sauce. It's like when you think of hot sauce, you think has to be kind of like red somehow, or like now more like chile or verde, which I learned
That's a
lighter.
That's a great point. So, Cheetos is going to Flaming Hot Cheetos is going to change the red dye to
Make it. It's like yellow.
like yellowish,
Oh, really?
and I think sales are gonna drop because we associate
Exactly. Red with hot.
with being spicy.
Exactly.
So I think that Flaming Hot Cheeto sales are gonna go down
Yeah.
because they're no longer red.
Yeah.
and you're not gonna have the red Cheeto, the red fingers no more.
Exactly, and I think that's
You
the
know,
thing. Yeah.
And that was such a big staple in the Mexican community
Yeah.
because I grew up.
In those hot Cheetos things.
Oh, pero yo me los comía like con un chingo de limón.
I mean,
And then on top of it, un chingo de tapatio.
wow. And they were hot already.
And they were hot already.
Jeez.
So it's like, damn, bro, like, are you enjoying that? Like, fucking red ass fingers. and it's hot.
Yeah,
Let me
there's
get a
nothing
Coke.
when you're eating that thing when like it's like my thing is always finding like how hot can I go until I'm like not enjoying this, you know, because you gotta be
There
like
has to be
sweating and you're like, huh. Because I've eaten some, you know, sometimes one time I went those like hot chickens things and I went for like the 911 or whatever the hottest one, and I took a bite and I remember it was in a parking lot and it was at a Trader Joe's there. I took a bite and I was like, I went into the Trader Joe's like a homeless person, just went like grab a milk and open it. I was like like drinking milk in the Trader Joe's, like just because I was so, and it was too, that was just that I can't enjoy. So there's a level of me where I'm like, I like hot, but and everybody's got their own level, but I'm like, I need to get to a point where I'm like, I'm almost suffering, but I'm not, you know what I mean?
I don't like spicy to the point where it's uncomfortable.
Exactly. That's not fun.
Like, okay, you're having shortness of breath
Exactly.
because it's too damn hot. Like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah.
like, it has to be
Like when you're sweating a little bit,
Yeah.
you know, you're crying a little bit.
It's got flavor too. Like there's spicy. Like,
That is true.
All right, my
Exactly.
my coach is gonna talk shit, but yesterday I found some Doritos in my pantry that weren't supposed to be there, so I fucking got them. I fucking le eché un chingo de tapatio and some limon, and for the first time, because you know I don't need spicy as much because the doctor told me not to. I was sweating, just
Yeah.
like being like a gordo eating and fucking make sure nobody came out because I'm not supposed to be eating this shit, dog.
Wait, that's another thing you said, limon. That's a thing that's very, like, I think Latino, just because limon is always verde.
Yeah,
Like here in the U.S., you know, when you say lemon, it's yellow.
yeah.
And you have to say lime. But like limon in Latin America es verde. Es verde.
But the limon is right here. I don't.
Because the yellow
Okay.
lemon, it's like, I was
All
like,
right,
It's always a limon too. The yellow
listen.
is just limon.
yeah,
You
exactly.
think it's a? Okay. Let's see what our audience says because when I say limon,
Yeah.
it's son los verdes.
Claro.
Y el limón amarillo, it's like, no
No.
me sabe igual.
No sabe igual. It's too sweet.
So is that just us or is it everybody else? Tell me when
Yeah.
when we
when
talk
I
about
ask for
limones,
limon, es limon verde.
ah, huevo.
Especially for like a soup or tacos or anything. Don't give me, imagine getting some tacos and some big ass yellow lemon. Like what the?
Can't do it. It tastes different, right?
No. I think the only way that I seen, I guess some food with like yellow lemon, like maybe some kind of like fish dishes, like a salmon or something like that.
Okay.
Something like that. But
Salmon?
Some salmon. but anything else, I'm like, nah, give me. I'm always pro. I'm pro verde.
It has to be, man.
And then the small ones are limas.
Limas, exactos, which is, but here they call limes the normal lemons, right?
No. Limes are the small green ones.
Okay.
That's what they call limes.
So they call so lemons are also the green ones.
Yeah,
I'm confused, dog, because
Yeah, I
I
was
call
like-
all of them limes. I call them limón. Like, yo quiero un limón.
Pero en inglés, when you say lemon, they is a yellow one, and you have to say lime to get the green one, right?
I'm confused.
I don't know.
confused right now, dog.
Yo te estoy preguntando- you guys
hey, these are fucking real Latino problems right here. It's like, what is okay, what's
When you
another
go to
example?
Trader Joe's and there's the lemons, and I'm gonna take a picture and send it to you guys because I
Okay.
think it says lime for the lemons, the green lemons, and then lemons for the yellow lemons. But it's for them it's
The
lemon.
small ones in English are called key limes.
Key limes, and for us limas, que son las chiquitas.
Son las chiquitas.
Exacto.
All right. What's the difference between repollo and lechuga?
No, bueno, una diferencia.
They look the same.
Yeah, but they taste the same. They taste differently. That's like, because repollo is more like a little bitterish and it's thicker and harder. Like lechuga is more softer and like, and
Okay.
there's so many types of lettuces
Alright.
too, you know.
So el repollo se usa con
Se lo puedo usar
pozole.
con pozole y también puedes hacer una ensalada de repollo también. Puedes hacer ensalada de repollo con zanahoria, mayonesa.
Like who uses lechuga with what I just said it right now. Who uses lechuga with pozole?
No.
Nobody, right? It has to be repollo.
No, sí.
Like, how do you go to the store and you ask for repollo in English? Do you say re-chicken?
Cabbage. Red chicken.
So it's cabbage.
Red chicken.
So, but I like re-chicken.
I like red chicken.
Can I get some rich chicken?
These are like the Latino issues that I deal with. Like, there's a lot of shit that I'm like, what the hell? So
But you understand why lechuga doesn't go with pozole, right?
It's too soft. It melts,
soft?
right?
It's watery.
Yeah.
Cabbage is
oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, got it.
But that's why lettuce has no nutritional value. It's just water.
It's just water.
Okay. So then why do we put lechuga on
Anything fresh. Or
fucking tacos de papa? Like there's some place where the tacos de papa have lechuga and sour cream.
Shredded lechuga, yeah. I mean, it goes,
It's just it's a
¿Por
condiment.
qué no
you know?
re-chicken?
you know, some places do, though.
Tú tienes que traer tu red chicken para todos lados.
You know what? En Jalisco, the tacos dorados de papa te los ponen con repollo.
Ah, sí?
Really?
Lechuga, yeah. That's your parent.
We're gonna try the difference. Let's see.
All right,
what-
yeah, we gotta do that.
But all right, let us know where people can follow you. What shows you got coming up? What shows? I gotta see you perform.
Yeah, man. When is this coming out?
Monday.
Monday. Okay, well,
So we're good.
so cool. I'm actually gonna be my next headline show is gonna be in Oxnard, California,
Okay.
the Oxnard Levity, December 26th and 27th.
Okay.
Gonna be there. Then December 2nd to the 4th, I'm gonna be in Denver. Sorry, not December. January 2nd and the 4th in Denver at the Denver Improv, and then I'm gonna do a show in Español at the Comedy Store January 11th, enero 11, and then I'm gonna be in Vegas in middle of January, and then in Columbus in February, Columbus, Ohio.
And when are you gonna be back here? Like one of these spots?
In one of the spots, don't know yet. I don't know yet. I mean, I'm always those are.
Well, your next one I'm gonna go to.
Well, come
That's
through.
local.
Yeah. What's local?
Pretty cool one. I would want to check the Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
Let me know. Let me know.
But you said something before we go. I want to ask you that question. Comedy in Spanish, comedy in English.
Yeah.
Well,
There-
what's
it-
the difference?
well,
Aside from the
first-
obvious. Aside from the obvious.
No.
Do you feel you're funnier in Spanish or you're feeling? You know?
Limon online? No. Well, not man, dude. For me, it was different. I had to change my way of doing it because I'm so used. Even though I'm fully fluent in Spanish, it was hard in the beginning to do it in Spanish because I'm so used to it in English because there's a rhythm in English. You know, it's like it's that's English is and the big difference is one of the big differences like English is faster obviously because of the language. You need less words to say something. It's more punchy, more pa pa pa. In Spanish, you have more time to do a premise. You have more time to do a story, and Latinos like that. They're like you don't have to go that fast. You can go like in English I go like ta 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 ta. In Spanish it could be ta 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 ta, and then you fit. So it's like so the sets are longer in Spanish. Like you could do like a 20-minute set in English. It could be 35 minutes in Spanish, for example. And I think Spanish, Latino would like more of like a conversation story, kind of like chisme, kind of like, hey, so this happened and then this happened, like more like that. You can still develop the sense of what a bit is, but it's more like, it's not as quick and pacey as in English. And I think it has to do a lot with stand-up in English has been here for a while. Stand-up in Spanish is still semi-newish. So people are still kind of like learning what the concept is.
Okay.
So you can't go, because I remember doing the first times I was going like literally translating from Spanish to English the same bits, and you could tell it was like working, but you gotta like kind of like let it flow more,
Okay.
talk more like, hey, like habla más relax, más relajado. But it's fun because it's both Spanish audiences are really great. They're very attentive. In the shows that people come, they're from everywhere, which is cool because it's cool to be able to do Spanish stand-up that anybody can understand. And we are so more international as an audience anymore. So it's like, you don't have to change. You can talk about, like do your set in Spanish and talk about your, pozole and your family and like everything that you just mentioned. And most Latinos are gonna get it because we're so like, we know so much more about everybody's culture. And it's cool that you can like, you don't have to be, before I was like, I have to be more neutral. And now I'm like, no, I can just talk about my stuff. And then if there's something, you can just explain it. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Well, hopefully I get to see you in Spanish and in English.
Yes.
And I'll bring lime or lemons. Vámonos.
No mames.
My brother, thank you so much
Thank you for
stopping
having
by.
me, man. I appreciate it.
you. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you.
I know you're busy, but I appreciate you taking the time, brother.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
We're out. Let's go. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss our weekly episodes. Let's go, baby.